formulas, tables, graphs. You have been introduced by all these terms in the previous videos, but it may be dazzling. That is why, in this video, we will show how they are connected and how you can derive one from the other. Say you have an extremely nice grandma and she gives you $5. Besides that, you also have a job which pays $4 per hour. We are now going to create a formula, fill in a table and draw a graph for your total income. Let's start with the formula. We already have $5 hard cash, which sounds way tougher than it is, but how much you earn in your job depends on the total hours you make. So we have the following formula in words. Total gainings is 5 plus 4 times the hours you work. Or, more mathematically, y is 5 plus 4x. So far so good, on to the table. We will make a horizontal table in which we collect the hours worked and the corresponding total gainings. Let's see how much we have after 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 hours of labor. We choose the specific numbers ourselves, we could have chosen any to our likings. But it does make sense to start with 0, which we will examine more closely once we draw the graph. Okay, if we work 0 hours, we fill in the 0 for the x in the formula and find 5 plus 4 times 0, which is 5. So we fill in 5 as total gainings below the 0 for hours worked. If we work 2 hours, we fill in the 2 for hours and find 5 plus 4 times 2. And since 4 times 2 is 8, we have 5 plus 8, which equals 13. If this goes a bit too fast, just pause the video and work out the answers for yourself before we do it on the screen. We will fill the entire table. Okay, we got the formula and the table down. Good progress. Amazing question. The answer is both yes and no. If you have a formula, you can always construct a table. You choose your own numbers for the variable, so in this case for the hours, and fill these numbers in the formula to find the corresponding gainings. But it is not necessary to have a formula. Sometimes a table is already given, or you could collect data to fill in the table. If you would, for example, measure the fallen rain for each day in a week, you could fill in a table with the days and the corresponding rainfall. Then you have a perfectly fine table without ever having seen a formula. On to our final task, drawing a graph that corresponds with the formula and table. We put the hours on the x-axis and the total gainings on the y-axis. So if we look at the first column, the one which states 0 hours and $5, we look for 0 on the x-axis and for 5 on the y-axis. We then find the following point. And that is why it is convenient to start with 0 in our table, because now you can immediately see where we intersect the y-axis, which is often needed for further computation. To find our next point, we use 2 hours of work, so a 2 on the x-axis, which should correspond with 13 hours of gainings, so we have 13 on the y-axis. We then find the intersection and draw our point. We do the same for all columns in the table. My man, again a good question. And again, I cannot give you a solid yes or no as an answer. Instead, it completely depends on what you need. Look, the formula, although it does not take up a lot of space, actually entails a lot of information. I mean, we have derived the entire table from the formula. And you could also draw the graph without ever setting up a table, by just using the formula. Basically, it's like this. You can always make tables and graphs when you have a formula, but the other way around is often much harder or not possible at all. So, are the other two then useless? No, definitely not. Say you want to know how much money you have after 8 hours of work. If you would just have the formula, you would have to start computing. But if you would already have a table, you would have gotten your answer straight away. So in that case, a table would be more convenient. Now say you want to know how much you have made after 3 hours of work. Of course, you could use the formula to find your answer, or make a new table which includes 3 hours of work. But if you would already have your graph, you could just see it straight away. So what you need depends on what you want to know. But do note, the three things that we see on the screen are basically translations of the same information. Namely that you have got $5 and that you make $4 per hour. If you were able to keep up with this example, good job. We are now going to present you with new information, and then we will let you construct the formula, the table and the graph. The information is as follows. You have got, apart from that nice granny, a rich cousin that gives you $8. That's all good, but unfortunately your job pays a bit less, now just $3 per hour. So you already have $8 and you make $3 per hour. Now try to come up with the formula and pause the video. Okay, gave it a try? Let's see what we found. Now try to make a table which includes the same hours as in our example. So make one with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 hours of work. And again, pause the video, because the solution will just fly into the screen in a second. Now all that is left is the graph. Pause the video and good luck. It is alright if your graph looks a bit different. Maybe you've used different step sizes or shortened or lengthened one of the axes. That does not matter as long as the points in the graph correspond to the same x and y values as the one we have in our screen right now. All is done and all is well. You now got down the basics for formulas, tables and graphs. Now it's all about practice, practice and practice. Nothing we can do about that. We try to help you out the best we can, but if you have any tips or comments, please let us know. And do subscribe to easily navigate through our videos. You will make us happy nerds. Thanks.